Welcome to a whole new show for the Racer X Podcast Network. It's Daniel Blair's Main Event Moto podcast. I'm Jason Wygant, welcoming Daniel to the Racer X Podcast Network family. We also want to thank our sponsors who are helping make this happen, including Maxxis Tires. Now, look, you already know that Maxxis delivers the best tires for your bike, including that Maxxis MX ST tire developed by Jeremy McGrath. But did you know Maxxis also offers high-quality tires for your car, your light truck, your trailer, your ATV, your mountain bike, and much, much more? Pretty much everything. So Maxxis Tires, they'll help you hook up, pull the whole shot, and beat your competition in any terrain or conditions. Just ask the king, Jeremy McGrath. To learn more, go to Maxxis, MAXXIS.com. And this podcast is also sponsored by ETS Racing Fuels. With unmatched consistency and performance, ETS powers some of the most winning teams in motocross and supercross. Now, you probably know the name to the riders, but why don't you know the name of the fuel? Why? Because champions don't give away their secrets. But now, with ETS's new online ordering system, you can have ETS Racing Fuel delivered right to your door, your shop, or racetrack. So it's easier than ever to get ETS's championship-winning performance in your tank. So whether you're racing a 2-stroke or a 4-stroke, 2 wheels or 4 wheels, visit ETSRacingFuels.com and you'll have your own winning secret to keep. ETS Racing Fuels, the most winning fuel you've never heard of. So now it's time to hand over the keys to Daniel Blair, his producer Joe, and whatever other wackos they can bring into the studio for the Main Event Moto podcast right now.
Thanks for listening to Main Event Moto.
Skivvy Underwear, skvi.com.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Ah, yeah, this is nice. Snuck out here to the public pool at night with the wood grain.
Team Skivvy, baby.
What was that?
Team Skivvy, baby.
What's up, Scummy? Founder of Skivvy Underwear, right?
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy. Skivvy Underwear, I get it.
Team
You don't
Skivvy,
have to
baby.
keep saying
Team Skivvy,
it.
baby.
Dude, you're so... Man, just get off me. Let me go.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, Scummy, you don't have to try to drown
Team
me.
Skivvy, baby.
Yeah, I get it. Team Skivvy.
Team Skivvy, baby.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna get some Skivvy Underwear.
You're listening to the Main Show, a Main Event Moto podcast, powered by Nature's Bakery.
It's time to do a podcast, Joe.
Yeah.
Episode 129. Is that right?
I didn't know you were Mexican.
I am.
Full-blooded.
I've been there about 10 times, and that's all I picked up. 1, 2, 9,
That's good.
and street taco.
That's good. That's good
about it.
Spanish. Street taco.
Yeah, it's my,
Joe's Tacos.
it's one thing to say it, but am I saying it right? 1, 2, 9.
Hell yeah.
All right, then I'm stoked. Let's do a show. Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwears, Mika Metals, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda, Cowie, K-Team of Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Keybar, Rep Racing, and Motosport.com. Joe, how we doing today?
So good, bro.
I'm doing good, too. Got the kids with me in the back cave. Look at them. Look to your left. The little one. Look at. She won't even look at you.
Oh,
She's
wow.
mad. Yep.
What's wrong with that?
You're giving her attention. She don't like that.
Oh.
Now look straight ahead.
There he is.
That one likes attention.
What's up, bro?
All of it. My kids are the sun and the moon, man.
Yeah.
Complete polar opposites.
Yeah.
They're with me. We're going to a birthday party after
Good.
we leave here.
That's fun.
So I had to bring them with me. I brought my baggage.
Good to have you guys.
Yeah. Speaking of baggage, I brought more baggage. Snap-on Dan's in studio. What up?
What's up, guys?
And not only that, saw you last night.
Yeah,
What the heck were you doing there?
dude? I've always was a Sacramento Mile last night, which is the American Flat Track Series.
You've seen that, Joe, or you've seen the billboards, right? The Sac Mile.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always the same weekend or the same day as Hangtown.
Yeah, it's
And
after,
by
a lot of people go to Hangtown, then jam over there and
dude,
hit it.
those are hardcore people because
Yeah.
there is no way after sitting in the sun for 8 hours, then going to the flat track race.
Right.
But dude, it was gnarly. Was it not badass?
I was pretty impressed last night. I got to admit, it was my first time going to a flat track or the mile, which you would think I'd have been. I live 45 minutes away from Cal Expo. The mile's been there every year. I've never been. And Kristen Beat, Joe, she was my teammate in Arena Cross TV. She does the TV for that stuff. She's like, hey, do you want to go to the flat track? I was like, yeah, when? She's like, tonight? I was like, what? But apparently it got rained out. Remember, Hangtown was rained out, so the flat track got rained out. They rescheduled it. It was last night. Took the kids to go watch. Snap on Dan's there. What up, homie?
Yeah, Joe, it was pretty cool. There was, in the 450 single class, was probably the best racing. It was all motocross bikes, but they were set up for flat track.
Yeah.
And this chick named Shayna Texter, on the last lap, like she was in third place coming out of turn 4, and just got in the gnarly draft between these two guys and slingshotted past both of them right at the
beat
line.
them.
Wow.
And it was insane.
And that class was, in my opinion, this is a new person, brand new to the world of flat track. No clue, right? Show up and I'm there taking it all in. The crazy, weird little Indian bikes and all those things, they didn't do it for me.
No, me neither.
They're just weird little bikes. They're 700 cc's or 750. The Indians smoke it's not even fair. It's that Meese dude. I don't even know. Did you stay? Did he win?
He was winning when I left.
But those bikes, it's just the racing wasn't as good in that class. But then the singles, which is like your traditional 450, with just the mods. I talked to the KTM factory team too. They lower them. They put 1440 gearing on. These things are screamers, right? That class was unreal, dude. They were battling, slingshotting back. The lead changed 50 times, maybe?
Yeah, every lap it would change 1 or 2 times because the draft is so gnarly down the straightaways. Yeah. You can come from 4th, 5th place to the lead in one straightaway.
If you get a good run at it.
Yeah,
that class was awesome. And yeah, this chick, dude, she's small. And they said of all the flat trackers there, she runs the softest suspension like you would ever feel on a motorcycle. And then the dude that's number 1, her teammate, is got like the stiffest bike, but I mean, he's a big old tall giant, and she is like 110 pound. What is she, 5 foot?
Yeah, she's pretty small.
On a 450, Joe, and just worked these dudes on the last straightaway. Took the win, standing out. She was, and it wasn't even like, because she had an advantage being smaller and lighter, but dude, her racecraft was so...
The strategy, you don't want to be leading.
She was so smart, like outsmarted them, battled the front, and then kind of sat it back, and then waited in the last straightaway and just ripped by these dudes and won. It was awesome. I was blown away. Kids had a good time, but yeah, Dan gives me the old textaroo. Where are you? I'm like, where are you? And we were apparently like 100 yards from each other, so it's pretty cool. But now we talk Moto.
Yeah.
You ready? What do you think of Unadilla? Real quickly before we get into, I'm a little format change for today, but real quickly, Unadilla overall, what'd you think?
It was good. I don't like the track. It's super ruddy, kind of one line, slot car racing, not a lot of passing, but it was good.
Unless you're Ken Roxon.
Oh, man, Kenny was incredible.
We'll get to that. But what I want to do different, Joe, because we had an off week, I want to kind of cover the off week in our uppers and downers. A lot of things happened over the last 14 days or so in the sport, and I figured we would cover those in our uppers and downers.
Uppers and downers brought to you by Fly Racing.
Thank you, Fly Racing, for bringing us uppers and downers. Dan, we'll start with you. Interesting off weekend. Had a lot going on. Cole Seeley retires. Loretta Lynn's happens. Monster Cup track design revealed. AC is officially, I say it that with a sarcasm, is officially on 450 Cowie, which we've all known.
Well, there's my upper right there.
You're going to interrupt me and go right at it. Go for it.
Dude, I am pumped.
I know you are.
It's
you. By the way, Joe, tell the Motoheads what Dan's wearing.
Oh, boy. It is monster green. We got a Kyle sitting right here.
Oh, my God. Kyle.
Look at this.
Kyle's in studio.
Kyle Green.
Oh, God.
He's got his Monster Energy. Hold on, put your head down. Just that's the straight Monster Cowie hat.
Yeah.
The shirt is the Monster Energy Pro Circuit Cowie shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Color your underwear.
I think they're green, actually, to be honest. Green
I'm not surprised.
No,
all right.
all.
So Dan's the biggest Cowie lover on the planet.
We saw this one coming. I mean, it was not a secret.
No,
but
it was not. In fact, I had Darkside ask AC in a press conference back at like Nashville. I don't even know where. Middle of the Supercross, and everyone freaked out. AC's like, what? Come on, like I know the sport's secretive and sneaky, but we all know we all know a lot before things happen, and this whole thing was coming and known about forever. I still see people online. Does AC get that Honda spot? It's dude, this has been done. This has been done since he was like 10. All right, it's like it's been part of the plan forever. But it's official. They released their statement. AC's 450, and Dan is a happy camper.
So here's why I'm so happy. A couple reasons. One being that I think that it's very cool for him to stay with Kawasaki.
After, again, a lifelong contract, pretty much, to this point.
Amateurs all through his pro career. And he had offers from Honda. He's talking to Honda and everybody. But yet he still was loyal to Kawasaki and everything that Kawasaki did to stand behind him when he was hurt and struggled and so on and so forth. So I think that is cool. And then I think he's going to be a really good 450 guy.
I think he's going to be
tall.
good too.
He's got good style. I think the 450 is going to suit him better. I don't think he'll have to ride the bike as hard. I think this 250, I mean, he's big. Watch him. He's just big. He manhandles the bike. And sometimes it looks like he overrides the bike, and maybe that's where some of the mistakes come from. But with the 450, I think he's just going to be a lot smoother and stamp it now. I think he is a title contender next year for Supercross.
This is not the show for outlandish predictions, Joe. We don't do that here.
Joe, we need to write that down and post that somewhere here in the back.
17-0.
Oh, yeah.
I think he wins everyone next year. No, I know. I just out of for fun. That's what I'm going to say. But on the real, you're 100,000% right. I think he overrides the Cowie or the 250 for two reasons. Number one is he's going up against these star guys nonstop, indoors, outdoors. Like he's having to ride, and as good as that PC Cowie is, it's not as good as a Star Yamaha. It just isn't.
Well, but what makes it not as good?
No, the power is what I'm saying. Is he's underpowered compared to those bikes.
Yeah, but
everybody is.
He gets hole shots.
Yeah, but
and he's a lot bigger than these star guys.
I know, but that's also talent too. Dylan Ferrandis weighs about 100 pounds and is just finally figuring out how to get a start. So AC is extremely talented. And I think, again, he's having to override a little bit on the 250. He makes a lot of mistakes because he's on the edge. And I think that once he gets on a 450 and he gets to back off of the intensity and use more of his talent and less of his just throttle, I think he's going to be a lot better because he's going to be able to go about 5% back on the intensity and probably 10% forward on the talent. And when he gets back to using his skill and not just using his balls, I think he's going to be better. So I'm with you 100%. My question to you is, because I'm with you on the story. He's a Cowie guy all the way through. He's had this rough, bumpy road, but here he is reaching the pinnacle of this sport is to be a factory 450 rider. If you're one of these guys growing up, if you're a kid right now and you're growing up, to make it as a factory 450 rider is like you made it, right? My question is he a lifer? Because James Stewart wasn't. Ryan Villapoto wasn't. Is AC a lifer? Do you think he gets in there on the Cowie, does well enough, they're happy with him, he's happy with them, and he rides this thing out into the sunset? Or, like the other Cowie guys that were lifers, does he eventually go somewhere else? I mean, I know this is way far ahead, but what do you want and what do you think?
I don't think so. I think he stays with Kawasaki because this would be the prime opportunity to jump ship, to go somewhere else, to try something else.
Do you think right now would be the time?
I think so, unless for some odd reason he gets on the Cowie 450 and just hates the bike. And
That's not going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
The chassis are very similar between the 250 and the 450 in the way they handle. So he's used to that handling, that handling bike. So I don't see him going anywhere. I just don't.
And obviously, time will tell. You never know. Relationships, I mean, they go sour for reasons that we don't understand. So you never know the future. But I feel like I'm with you more. I feel like AC's been the chosen green rider since he was a little kid, and I really do think that he's going to find a place there. I don't know. I mean, but I have heard weird things. I've heard he's got a multi-year deal. I've heard he's got a 1-year deal. I've heard all kinds of stuff. Obviously, in this sport, you never know the actual truth because we're just sneaky in this sport.
I think he at least has a 2-year deal. I don't think it's a single-year deal.
And maybe, who knows? I saw it reported differently by multiple credible news outlets in the sport. So I don't know. But I'm with you. I think he'll be there forever. And then
here's another thing that I think is going to be bitching is I think that he is going to elevate Eli Tomac as well. Because, Eli is...
Well, because this will be the best number 2.
It's going to be the
best.
He's
had Josh Grant. Yeah. He's had Savacci. He's had... Who else did he have? Who else did he have as a number 2? I guess just probably them.
Them two. Yeah.
Bowers
for a short time.
Bowers as a film, whatever. This will be his best number 2. So in the actual truck will be someone who I actually think purely from a skill standpoint, is better than him. I think Adam...
He's a more technical rider.
I think Adam is next level when it comes to talent. And he's obviously motivated. And I'm with you. I think his rookie year is going to... I don't think he'll have a Dungey rookie year where he wins the damn thing, but I think he's going to have a better rookie year than most. I think he'll have a better one than Savacci had. I think he'll have a better one than Osborne obviously had, and Plessinger and Justin Hill. I mean, I think he'll be the best rookie we've seen in a while. Since the Roxon Tomac era that came in, and they were pretty awesome right out of the gate. I think he's more in that conversation. I put him up there with that lead pack next year, and not back in that 5 to 10. I put him in the 1 to 5 next year, right out of the gate. I have no problem saying it. I even said it on Instagram. I see a couple wins next year. I see, I don't know, 3rd, 4th in points after a hard-fought season, and I think he will be better than he's been on the 250, which has been pretty awesome. So I'm with you on that.
Just his character, like in the truck with Eli in the Cowie truck, I think he's just going to bring a good, fresh, new vibe, and I think that in itself will elevate Eli a little bit, maybe to give him some more motivation, because it seems like on these weird days like this, this is just not his track, and it really never has been. He's never won here, but he's just kind of doomy and gloomy, and you kind of get that doomy and gloomy Eli Tomac pretty often,
Yeah, the only problem with that is, from what I understand, Eli doesn't spend much time in the truck.
Oh, maybe he will, though, with a good character,
Or maybe things get awkward if Adam starts doing really, really well and he becomes Cowie's focus and Eli's in his motorhome doing his own thing. But, and again, this is obviously looking pretty far into the future. Eli's got 2 years left on his Cowie deal. I believe firmly, I'll timestamp it, Joe. I think that's it for him. I think he does 2 years and he's out and he's retires. So we'll see. The clock is ticking on Eli Tomac getting himself a Supercross title. Who gets one first? AC or Eli? That's a legitimate question. Which one of those guys gets it first? Because Eli's running out of time and AC is just getting started. But say we got a 2-year window here. Did either one of them get it?
Yeah, I think Tomac gets this next one for sure.
You're going to say that.
He's clearly been the best guy. He just has to clean up those just stupid, awkward weekend.
Wow.
That one weekend that he just blows it.
We'll get to that. What's your downer coming out of the off week, a 2-week span of a lot of news? What's your downer?
So my downer is Kawasaki getting so much hate for pulling out of MXON.
I honestly can't believe they had the cojones to come out and say our riders are not doing it. It's our choice. Well, and it wasn't worded like that, but we all know. Read between the lines. Cowie didn't want to go. Bruce Sternstrom didn't want to go. He's got Eli Tomac, who doesn't want to go. He's got Adam Cianciarulo, who I think would probably want to, except for he's getting off of a 250, starting his 450 career. It's very important for him to get off on the right foot. To wait around a whole month to ride the 250 at the Donations at a race where we're probably going to lose anyway because the track is just unrealistic to our riders. But I'm sure deep down, Adam probably wanted to.
Yeah.
But for Cowie to kind of jump in front of this thing, I give him credit. But damn, they're getting heat for it.
Well, and it does suck in some sort of fashion. But you have to look at it from a business standpoint from Kawasaki.
Yep.
Right? You have, it's extremely expensive to travel over there. The FIM and whatnot does not provide enough money for these teams to cover the travel. But the biggest one is the time gap between the end of motocross to the Donations. It's 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And you've got 2 riders that it is impeccable that they do good in Supercross. You have Tomac that has struggled the last 2 years. He's always been right there. And then you've got Adam, which is coming up to the 450
Are you reading my
class.
Notes or something?
No, dude.
Word for word, like you're literally.
This is what makes sense.
Okay, even further than that too. Kawasaki gives their budgets all over the world for the European stuff, the GP stuff, the American stuff, whatever. The American Kawasaki race team, the Donations is not their responsibility to go and win. It's not in the United States. It's not our traditional format. They are literally, they exist, they're paid, they're given the budget to win the American series. And again, if you're a Cowie, how was Supercross for you this year? Faulkner got his title ripped away. AC lost his title. Tomac was the best guy again and didn't win it. They are paid, and their whole job responsibility is to win in America. You're going to sacrifice another season of Supercross, or your potential of winning the Supercross season to go and do a race that's in Europe. I'm sorry, but that's Kawasaki of Europe's responsibility.
Yes.
And if they really want them there, then Cowie should, I don't know, get more budget or get it sent from Europe, whatever. What I'm getting at is, I'm with you. On a business sense, it's not their responsibility to go and win that race. It doesn't get them anything added to their team for the next year. It's for pride, which is cool and all, but these guys, they have a job to do. And their job is not to finish out our season, wait around a month, and then go send. And as much, I'm with you. I want to see Eli and Adam go. They're going to end up probably being our 2 champs on Cowies.
Sure.
But it's not their responsibility to go to that race and do that, especially when it's so inconvenient. Like, if it wasn't so inconvenient, I could see the argument. But man, we're talking about going outside of your responsibilities to go to a race that has been so manipulated over the last 5 to 10 years to be at a disadvantage for the U.S., and they got to throw all this money and all the resources to go and sacrifice their guys' prep for the series that they're actually paid to win, that they can't get over the hump on.
Yep.
I get it. And from a personal standpoint, yes, I would love to send our best team, but it's so ridiculously inconvenient for about 100 reasons. And Cowie finally said, you know what? We're sick of it. We got a job to do. We're going to focus on our job. We got a guy who's won damn near half the races for the last 3 years. We got to get him a championship. We got our new rookie who is, this could be the next big thing here. I'm sorry, we're not going to go send these guys over to some crappy, weird, man-made sand supercrossy thing on a track where they're going to get smoked probably by a bunch of Somethingdorfs, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of European guys that I don't know their name are going to wax our guys because the track's... No, Joe, don't write that down. That's not going to be the title of the show. Don't even do it.
Somethingdorfs?
That's
awesome.
Not the title of the show. But what I'm getting at, it's an unrealistic race. It's an odd race. It's oddly timed. It's expensive. And yeah, our 2 guys, they don't want to do it. They're burnt out, and they want to get started on next year where they're paid to do their job.
Well,
so it is what it is.
And here's what blows me away is Ferrandis came out and posted that Instagram post as well, saying that the French
he's not going.
Federation asked him,
and he said
he
no.
pulled out, and he said no for the exact same reason.
Yeah, he's got a title defense.
Yes,
and a 450 career coming in the next year.
Well,
priorities.
It's the 5-week freaking gap between the two. He didn't feel like that was going to give him enough prep for the upcoming Supercross series. But you know what? You don't see any hate from that Ferrandis is getting. All of our guys, all of our quote unquote Americans that are abandoning Kawasaki and how dare Kawasaki, un-American, blah blah blah. They're the same people that are praising Ferrandis for not going. Oh yeah, we totally understand. I'm blown away. I don't know why. It's like everybody jumping on the Cowie hate bandwagon.
Well, I give them credit for actually jumping in front of it for their riders and being like, look, lay off of Eli and Adam. This is us.
Hey,
I give them credit for it.
And I got something to say to all my Cowie fans.
Oh God.
I see online now all these guys, I'm going to sell my Cowie now. Cowie, they're un-American. You know what? Pack your bags. You weren't a true fan anyways.
Oh, see, Joe? Send them back where they came from.
Save it for listener questions. We got a lot of them about that.
I'm sure we do. But my point is, and I'm going to get hate on this too, because some of you out there really, really value the Nations race, and that's cool. Everybody's got their own priorities and what means a lot to them. To me, it's Supercross is priority 1, Outdoor is priority 2, the Nations is priority 4 after Monster Cup. And sorry, it just is. And if that bothers you, then that's cool. I get it. It doesn't bother me because I don't care. It's not a realistic race. It's not what it used to be. It's not the same. Things have changed. The sport has changed. The business has everything has changed, and the race isn't what it is, or isn't what it used to be. And
here's something.
I've accepted that and moved on. I don't even care. I mean, I hope our team does good. Dude, I love the fact that El Hombre and Osborne, I mean, think about them. They got priorities too, but they're willing to go do it. That's awesome. I give them props. But at the same time, I'm not gonna hammer the riders that aren't going. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna hammer Cowie for not going. It's extremely inconvenient, all for pride. I mean, it's just...
And everybody needs to calm down, because you know who's going to be our 2021 Nations team? Tomac, Cianciarulo, and probably whoever the top 250 guy. They're gonna go.
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
will
Where
go.
is it? I don't even know. Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably not the man-made sand track, which is going to be better for us.
Yeah, which is fine. And I'm with Steve Mathis on this. I would pull out, send a message to the people that run this thing, fix this thing, because you've deliberately made it harder for the draw. Okay, America is the draw at the race. You've gone out of your way to make it very inconvenient for America and make it a little bit better for us. We're not asking for anything special other than don't make it so bad for the U.S. That's it.
Yeah.
And realize your place, like your priority 4. So if you want the American team to do that, then make it more convenient so that priority 4 is more obtainable, because that's what it is. I'm sorry. It is the 4th priority in the sport. In fact, it's probably 5th. I bet you Cowie has more invested interest in Loretta Lynn's than they do in that race, and I'll get to that in a second. But it's the reality of it's just the race doesn't mean what it used to be anymore. It's the sport, for love it or hate it, it's turned more into a business, and it's bad business. And Cowie saw that and said, screw it. And I applaud him. So
with that being said, good luck to our team.
Me too.
I think we got a good team.
I'm all in on our guys.
Yeah,
I hope they do great.
And I want to win. I want our team to win. Has nothing to do with.
I'll shoot for the podium. The word win. The word
know.
win
It's
on
gonna
that
be
track
tough.
to me is like.
Well, here's the good news: is they're going over early, to do some training and riding. They're going the week after Ironman as a team, and maybe that's what we need to do. But you got to have the guys that are willing to do that, and those guys are willing to do that. You got to think also, you have Monster Cup, which is 1 or 2 weeks right after Des Nations. Monster Energies provides a lot of money to put on that event, and they're
and the donations, which is weird.
Well, yeah, but Monster, you got your 2 American riders, Tomac and Cianciarulo. They got to be there healthy, right?
Exactly. And they're your team riders for next year's Supercross. That obviously, again, is priority 1. And again, for Justin Cooper, you're early enough in your career where you're not going into 2020 like, I've got to win this title. Like, Ferrandis has to back it up, dude. If he wants a good 450 deal, he better back up that championship this year. It's his number 1 priority. Go win it again, so you guarantee yourself a good 450 deal. If you're Osborne, your odds of winning the Supercross title next year are really, really, really small. So you're not sacrificing your Supercross career by going to this race. Anderson, I give him props, because if I'm him, I'm wanting to rebound so hard in 2020 Supercross. But Anderson's a gamer. He always has been, dude. He goes after he'll do everything all the time anyway. It's just how he is. I mean, he don't care. Webb, dude, he's got a title defense. If I'm Webb, I'm not wanting to go either. The last thing I want to do is finish the outdoors and then spend 5 weeks waiting around for this one race, which jeopardizes my chance to defend my title. And if you're Eli and you need that damn Supercross title you've been chasing, the last thing I'm going to do is jeopardize that. And if you're AC and you're starting your 450 career and you're wanting to make a good impression and get this thing started on the right foot, the last thing you're going to do is go and wait around for 5 weeks to go to I don't know. I guess I don't want to go any further. Let's just end the discussion there. I'm saying is I give Cowie props. Like, I get it. It sucks that it is the way it is, but it is the way it is. So don't hammer them on it.
You want to wear my hat?
No, because I'm not a Cowie. I'm not a Cowie. I got a KX65 in my garage right now. It's the biggest piece of crap ever. I'm not a Cowie fan.
Oh no,
Evan disagrees.
I live in.
man.
I'm just realistic. That's all. And realistically, this race is not what it used to be. So everyone needs to just.
Evan, how's that
calm
Cowie?
down.
How's that Cowie, Evan?
It's parked. Thing sucks.
He's like so glued to that iPad.
What happened? Where are we? I don't even know what's going on now. Oh, that was sick by who is that? Ferrandis? Joe, why don't you kick us off with your upper and your downer?
Switching gears on the. I don't have no upper, bro.
Upper?
Life's too good to have a down, or no downer. Sorry, life's too good to have a downer.
All right, you sound enthused right now.
No, I am. I just I'm interested in this Monster Cup track.
Yeah, Dan, what do you think about that?
It's definitely unique.
So I heard about this a few months ago, that they were looking at trying to design a way to make this work, but they're going to have 2 separate starting areas. One of the directions is going to be used twice, but from 2 starts. And then one of the directions is going to be from the other start. So they are going to go backwards.
Yeah, and that's why it's my upper. I think it's interesting. It's cool. I like switching it up.
I've been seeing people online actually hating on the track too and be like, this is ridiculous. Guys, it's Monster Cup. It's a chance for the teams to experiment with bike settings. It's a chance for riders to see where they're at. It's a chance to go to Vegas and have a good time. And if you're failed, it's a chance to try things. Like the Triple Crown that we have now that's been proven to be pretty damn awesome in Supercross, that started at Monster Cup. It was tried out. It had to work itself out. The fact that this race is what it is, it's a chance to try things out, Joker lane, no Joker lane, whatever. The fact that they're going backwards for one main, and I am so intrigued to find out what happens. I don't even know how they're going to do practice. The fact that I don't know is what's intriguing. I can't wait to see something new. That's it. For a race that's not part of our traditional series. Dude, again, back to the alligator pits. This would be the race to put the gator pits in. Anything new to make it fun and interesting and different and creative. If you're against it, come on. I mean, it's not like it's Anaheim 1 and we're going to do the heat races one way and the mains the other way. It's Monster Cup. This is the race we do that stuff at. It's freaking awesome.
I want to know how they're going to do if they're going to have a finish line jump. Like, how do you jump the finish line? I mean, I think that's what's cool. We don't know.
I don't know.
It's going to be cool.
I can't wait to see. Again, my biggest question, Joe, how do you do practice and qualifying? Because you obviously ain't going to send these guys out there with none. So do you do one practice one way, one the other? How does that affect gate pick? Is it a combo of both times? Like, there's so much intrigue over having a track that goes both directions. The only problem that I see with it, and this is going to come off a little rude, but Ryan Dungey and Ryan Villapoto, they're on the Mount Rushmore, right? Joe, would you agree they're on the Mount Rushmore of our sport?
Totally.
These two knuckleheads couldn't even figure out the Joker lane. They straight skipped it. And now we're asking our riders to go two directions? Holy crap.
With the Joker lane?
Yeah, that's my only concern is, can our riders pull this off? Because we have two of the baddest ever who couldn't even hit the Joker lane. Like, I just forgot about it. And now we're asking the top guys in our sport to go two directions. Oh my God. That's the only concern. And my concern right out of the bat as a father, and Evan, I'm sorry, I'm going to blow you out right now on the podcast. I apologize. But this year at Glendale, Futures Amateur Day, Evan had the whole shot, turned and went the wrong direction on the track. So when I saw this track printout, knowing that my son is racing Futures Sunday and Monday, I had to hit him up and be like, can you give me the printout for Amateur Day? Because I got to get my little guy locked in on which direction he's going, because he already has a history of going the wrong direction on the track.
Not a history, just a one-time.
Are you calling that race Saturday? Are you going? I know you're going, but
as far as working,
yeah,
I think so.
That's going to.
I would say 90%.
That's going to be super key for not only the in-house announcer, but on TV, is to make sure that everybody understands what is going on each race.
Think about my responsibilities as the track analyst. I got to figure out how to explain to the people why we're going two separate directions.
You have the most important job of the night.
I do. It's all on me, guys. I have to explain to everybody how the hell this works.
Yeah, this thing lives and dies on you, bud.
Oh, man, the pressure. Like, again,
make sure you do a good job.
I'll do my very best. But again, my number one concern when I saw that track printout was just my kid going the right way on Sunday. That's it. So no downer for you.
Nope.
All right.
Things are too good.
All right. My upper. Can I go, Joe?
Hell yeah.
My upper. Cole Seeley retiring. I don't really like the terms as far as he's coming off an injury and I don't think that's the ideal way to retire. If you take away the circumstances of his retirement and just look at it as a body of work, Cole Seeley's had a pretty awesome career, man. Think about this. He was a privateer on that F&S Suzuki team in 2009. I remember. He was like fast and scrappy, but he really wasn't. I guess I didn't see anything that year that made me think this guy's going to win Supercrosses. He's going to ride for the donations for us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, his career, nothing told me in 2009 that this guy was going to be what he was. And the fact that he kind of made it past that, rode for TLD, won Supercrosses, rode for Factory Honda, donations, podiums out. What he was able to do in his career, it's pretty dang awesome. And again, the circumstances of being, retiring from this injury, that sucks, but if you just look at it from the big picture, don't you think he had a pretty rad career?
Yeah, he for sure did. I mean, HRC is like the pinnacle of factory teams, right? I mean, that's everybody's dream, is to ride for HRC, and he got to do that, for
a few years.
He put in some good results. I think he had a Supercross win on the 450, and I think it's the right call. Get out while you can, while you're still somewhat healthy. He's had a couple really big injuries.
Yeah,
and
I think the biggest thing with him too is the pace needed to be successful in the 450 class, and the amount of risk involved. It's pretty high if you want to be successful. And I think he's probably at that point where I'm just not willing to risk it anymore like that. And if you're not willing to risk it, that's actually when the more problems start coming at you. So I think strategically, I've always felt, just in our conversations, he's a pretty smart guy. He probably just did the math and said, look, it's just not worth the risk anymore. And I think that's admirable. And I look at his career as a success. Joe, I know you weren't around for the whole thing, but overall, from what you've seen of Seeley in a couple of years, always been a stand-up guy. I thought represented himself and Honda and our sport always in a positive, and it's good to see him to go out and I think be pretty happy about it.
His YouTube channel, he's got a YouTube channel going where he's building some bikes. I guess he's going to ride the Straight Rhythm on a CR250. They're building it up.
And I could see him doing stuff like that, fun stuff. He's too good on a dirt bike. He obviously, guys that are that skilled like riding a dirt bike, like Josh Hansen. Josh Hansen right now is working for Honda, still riding. Those kind of guys, I think, will ride forever. Just do fun stuff, select stuff. But the pressures and the risk of racing 450 Supercross, I think, just got to him. And he's earned all the respect, in my opinion. He's been a class act all the way through. So congrats on that. My downer, sadly, is going to be Loretta Lynn's. And it's not the race itself. It's just the way that it's gone about. I watched a bunch of it on Racer TV and kept in tune. I was obviously watching the A classes, the Jet Lawrence, Shimoda. I like watching the next layer of guys that are coming up. I obviously wanted to watch Max Volan because we're Max fans around here. And of course, I'm watching the little kids, 50, 65, because that's what my kid races. So I watched a bunch of it. Thought it was great. There's just two big issues for me. Number one, I can't stand the fact that we have probably a facility filled with riders where the kids don't go to school. And don't give me this crap about being homeschooled. I mean, I'm not. Don't be that naive to think that these kids are actually disciplined every day doing their schoolwork. And I'm sure there's some, but for the most part, I just don't like that the amateur racing is so celebrated and so high priority that we have families and kids that are just decided to go all in. It's just, I don't think that's very smart. I actually think there should be a rule. When Evan raced the KTM Junior, we had to turn in his report card. He had to have good grades. His attendance had to be right. I don't think these kids should be allowed to race amateur nationals without showing that they're actually going to school. I think it's counterproductive, and I think it's ridiculous.
I agree 100%. I mean, it's not just the curriculum, the school curriculum that these kids are missing. It's the social skills.
And the discipline of having to be somewhere every day and battle out. Evan battles it out right now at school. He has kids that school is not a breeze. There's things that you need to accomplish there in those young years, and the fact that there's little kids all over the country that are like full factory and they're not even in double-digit age and they're not in school. It's just wrong to me.
Well, what's even more crazy is the parents that think that this is okay, knowing that I would say less than 1% of these kids make it, right?
Yeah, less than one.
Why would you? You have those certain kids like Max, those certain kids that have that talent, these guys that go out and win every moto and just they're super freaks. Those kids, I get it. But these kids that are running, 10, 15, 20, that are homeschooled and they've got this dream.
Living in a motorhome or living in a facility somewhere.
I get it, but you got to be realistic. And I think it's crazy that these parents put their kids through that. And a lot of times I think it's the parents are living through the kids.
Oh yeah,
because that's they didn't make it or they always wanted to do it, and I think it's nuts.
I do too. And I don't want to take a shot at Jet Lawrence because that wouldn't be fair. I don't know his situation, but we are all collectively as a sport celebrating this kid and the way he rides. I watched him, dude. He's phenomenal. Like the kid is so sick. But at the same time, we never asked the question, and maybe the answer is legit. But he's 15 years old. Is he in school? Does he do any school? Does he? I mean, maybe he does. That's awesome. But we are celebrating the fact that a 15-year-old is the next maybe superstar of the sport. But we never question like what's going on away from the dirt bikes. Is he in school? How does he do in school? Is he doing homeschool? Is he still getting an education along the way? And that's why for me, the Justin Cooper model is so unbelievably better to me. If it was me, I would make it a rule where amateur racing, you have to be in school. You have to show that you're receiving an education. And number two, I would change the age to 18. These kids should not be professionals before they're 18 years old. They should be in school.
I agree with that for sure.
It's ridiculous. Like it's absolutely ridiculous that And the reason why it works for a couple, the reason why it doesn't work actually, is because a couple guys can pull it off, and then everyone else takes the bait that could be them. And now you have all these kids and families that are pretty damn good at this that got to go all in because they got to keep up with the ones that are making it, and their only chance is to take them out of school and go all in, go to the facility. And it doesn't really increase your odds that much, but it does increase the odds that you're missing out on things that you need as a kid to grow up. I find it so wrong.
Let me ask you this. You may know the answer to this, you may not. Like Cole Seeley, for example. Do you think he made enough money racing to live the rest of his life and never have to work again?
No.
And you're talking about a guy, he's probably made millions, right? I mean, would you say?
I would say overall, collectively through the years, yeah.
So what's a guy like that do? And Cole was good. He is that 1%, right?
Yeah, he is.
He still has to go get a job.
Yeah, exactly. And luckily for him, the connections that he has will probably help with that. But how about the guys, like you look on the starting grid at an outdoor national or in a supercross, the guys that aren't making a living and are literally just waiting till the day they're done so that they can go and enter the real world. Can you imagine? I mean, most of these, not most, that's not fair to say, but some of these kids don't have an education. I mean, they have nothing.
Hey,
it's a rough road. It comes down on the parents' fault for taking the bait. And that's why, again, if you wanted to do the right thing, raise the pro limit to 18 years old. I mean, think about it. Other sports, they make you go to college for a year. Football, NBA, and I know the kids don't actually go to their classes, but at least pretend to give a damn. Like, they should not be racing professionally as minors, and you shouldn't be racing this amateur national glorified race if you're not in school. It's wrong to me. And then my second point really quickly, I do think it's a little silly that everything is all put into one big race where a wild weekends, crazy results can happen. I think there should be 4 or 5 amateur nationals that all count towards a series. That way you get to see these guys over the course of a year, not just one crazy weekend. And again, the requirement should be that they're in school.
Hey, did you hear about the PW class?
Yeah,
the one dad.
I found that hilarious, though.
So did you hear what happened? So
they protested back at him or something?
Yeah, and he failed the tech inspection. And then he said he had to go back.
Yeah,
and
Joe,
his engine builder.
You're going to love this, Joe. Someone protested, like every kid in the 50 class that was in front of him.
Yeah, I heard about
It was
that.
like 8 bikes.
Yeah.
And then one of them said, you know what? I want to protest you.
Ooh.
Tore him down, and he was cheating.
Oh, dude,
That's incredible.
Of course.
That's the best thing I heard about Loretta.
Pot meat kettle. Oh, man.
It was
But just
awesome.
a quick shout out to Max Voland. Dude, on fire.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And again, I heard, where did I hear? I don't remember where I heard. It might have been on the Fly 60 show, Fly Moto 60 show. They were talking about how Max doesn't really have the competition in his class, which is true. But the counter argument to that is Jet Reynolds was hurt. Jet Reynolds is his main comp, has been his whole life. Without Jet in there, Max waxes everybody. If Jet was in there, they probably would have went at it pretty hard. So Max had it easy because he's so much further advanced than everyone in that class, except for the one guy who wasn't there who would have battled him out all the way to the end. So, dude,
but you know what?
I don't want to take that credit away from Max. It's not fair that he's that good in his class. That's not fair. He's that good.
And they're doing it right.
100% they're doing it. Well, I think. I don't know the school side of things, but at least as far as the program is right. Max, they do it right. The kid rides, trains everywhere. He's not a facility. Dad and grandpa and uncle are out with him every day. It's a little bit different, but at the same time, I'm just, Joe, I'm extremely firm believer in the idea that these kids need to be in school. It needs to be a rule. I'm sorry. You should not be allowed to race these races without proof that you're in school.
Well, they are in school, homeschool.
Right. You know why I never went homeschool? I wanted to. My parents, I begged them please let me. You know why they didn't do it? Because they knew I would have never done it. We would have done just the bare minimum to get the papers in, just to get the credited, whatever. I would have never done it. I would have never experienced.
Yeah, but it wouldn't matter because you're going to be a huge, famous, rich Supercross racer. So you don't.
And guess
need
what?
school.
Think about my amateur career. I was a top 5 guy always. I did win a couple amateur titles. I was the prime candidate of someone who you would think, man, if this guy was homeschooled, he would have really had a. No, it would have increased my odds this itty bitty amount. But it would have probably cost me a lot in the long run. I mean, even the things that I'm doing now in life, I credit to finishing out high school and having to have the discipline to finish the damn thing out and move into, my adult life with at least something there. So, anyways, all right. Venting is over. Let's talk Unadilla. Joe, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll get to Unadilla and get into our listener question.
Main event moto.
Let's be real. Kids and adults like things that taste good. What if you had a food that tasted unreal and was healthy?
Dad, get me some Nature's Bakery.
What flavor, Evan?
Any, duh.
Seriously, my kid is a pain when it comes to track snacks, but since we started eating Nature's Bakery, it's gotten a lot easier.
But Dad, don't you always call Mom a track snack?
That's not what I mean, Evan. Make sure you eat Nature's Bakery when you're at the track. Convenience is everything to us in the Bat Cave, and that's why we rock a key bar and no toil filters. Trust producer Joe, you're sick of that jingle jangle in your pocket.
Yes, sir. Just go get a key bar, like your Bat Bros.
And if you're not using no toil filters, you probably still have a flip phone. They make one of the worst bike chores easy. Throw the filter in the wash machine with your ladies' panties, and they'll never be cleaner. Get with the program and get a key bar and switch to no toil. Pay attention, Motoheads. I'm a picky SOB, especially when it comes to products on my son's bike. That's why we run Mika bars, sprockets and chains, and a gut seat cover, and it's not even negotiable. Look, if you care about quality and performance on your bike, you'll be running Mika metals and gut seats and covers. And if you don't, you're a what, Evan?
A noob like Uncle Vincent.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
I'm upset with Ken Roczen and Eli Tomac. They are robbing us. They are robbing us of what we all crave. How come Eli, on a given day, can be so freakish that he's not even from this planet? He waxes everyone like you wouldn't believe. And Kenny's back there, 3, 4, 5. And then the next race, Eli, 3, 4, 5. And Ken Roczen is a psycho alien freakazoid out front. Can you two do it on the same day, please? You're robbing all of us of what we all want to see, which is you two go at it when you're both on your A game. Can you please both do it on the same day? What is the deal with one guy being a freak and the other one being average, and then they take turns and they just rip us off of what we all want, which is a Roczen Tomac battle? And I'm talking on years now. When was the last time we saw these two just go at it for 30-something minutes? And we've had little sprinkles here and there of it. But you can make the argument that one of them wasn't on their AS game. I want to see you both on freak game on the same day. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see it. I think Eli is riding this thing in now. And I could be wrong. Maybe at Budds Creek he comes out and kills everybody. Probably. Who knows with him. But what I'm getting at is I want to see these two just 30 seconds out on everyone, which is probably where they are on most days. But I want to see them do it together so we can finally see the battle that we've pretty much never seen. I'm just, come on, guys. Help us out a little.
I think Tomac's going to mail it home. His goal is to go into Budds Creek with the title.
Was he 51 up?
Leaving Budds with the title.
But then he wouldn't be able to mail it. He would have to beat those guys to stay above 50, though.
Yeah, well...
So,
but that was his goal.
That was his goal.
It's not going to happen. Now, I mean, it could happen if Marvin and Kenny have a horrible day. But,
or if Eli
I think
now goes Washougal freak mode again.
Yeah, I think he's only 40 or 43 points or something like that ahead of the two. So,
you know what I'm saying, though? Like, these guys, it's just, why you got to take turns?
This historically, like I said before, has not been Eli's strong suit at this track. It plays favor to Ken and Marvin with the long ruts
standing up through weird stuff.
And Kenny's the best at that, standing up through those long ruts, and it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, both of them, of course, in the second moto were obviously better than everybody because they just look at the track differently when it's like that for whatever reason. I've always felt like Eli is better when he gets to just power through things, and when the track's like that, there's way more mental focus needed than just pure power everywhere. So kind of knowing the track the way it was, especially in the first moto, I kind of knew like this isn't going to be Eli's day. But still, it's like, think back to the Minneapolis Supercross, long time ago, the Dungey Villapoto battle that like everyone will remember as one of the sickest battles. We haven't really got to see that with Ken and Eli, and it's funny because in Supercross, neither one have won the title. It's been Anderson and Webb since Dungey retired. Yet you can make the argument that these are your two heaviest hitter, the highest focus, highest paid. These are the two elite guys in our sport, and they just don't battle really. Like, and I'm a lap or two here and there. That's cute. I want to see them go to war, a 12-round, like a boxing match, all the way to the end. But they just can't do it because neither one of them will bring their A game on the same day, and it's just
I think we're going to
just waiting.
I think we're going to see that a little bit more this year because I think it was.
You mean next year
or next year? I think it was Roxon's goal to kind of get through the Supercross season unscathed, and I think we'll see more battles like that this year. I really do.
I hope so, but at the same time, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just frustrating. Like Eli was like, what in the hell, man? Like
and
psycho.
Kenny had a good day in Washougal.
Pretty
too,
good. I would say he brought his B game. He didn't bring his A game. He didn't bring this.
No.
Dude, you see how fast he was in practice?
Yeah, 3 seconds.
How do you even do it? We're talking about putting an absolute spanking on the rest of the baddest dudes in the series.
Yeah, by a lot.
Like
3
1.5 seconds, and I'm like, geez, but 3?
Yeah.
And then the way he went through them in that early second moto, just, dude, he went through them like they were in the B class.
But if you look, like the everybody wants to know why everybody says that Unadilla is like a Euro style track. It's because if you watch the MX GPs, they're all like kind of hard base, really ruddy. You know,
they're hard pack ruddy tracks,
and that's what Unadilla ultimately is.
Right.
It was looked like a little bit softer this year, but it was still pretty hard pack and ruddy.
It was weird to see it too because we've had a couple years of bad weather there, so we haven't had a chance to actually see that track in regular speed for a while. So it was like, oh yeah, this is what Unadilla looks like at high speed, and I think the track is sketchy. Honestly, for me as a rider personally, it couldn't be any further away from what I like. Just these long ruts where you go down the straightaway and you have no good option. You just got to kind of wheelie and close your eyes. And I even like when they go down that gravity cavity, turn back up, they would step up over, and then that right, the ruts off that thing. The lack of respect that these riders had for that track was so impressive. They didn't even care. And Kenny, of all people, does it the best. He has this thing about those types of tracks. And it's a bummer what happened to Webb, too, and just Webb got a slow start in the first moto, because I think that's the kind of track where he's really good, too, where you get to kind of point and shoot a lot. But yeah, it was impressive. As impressive as Roxon was, I can't help but think how bummed I am that I'm not seeing him go up against Eli when Eli's in one of his moods, too. It's like they both get in this mood where they are psycho.
Yeah.
And they never do it on the same day.
I'm curious to know how Webb's knee is.
I actually heard today on my way here, a phone call I made, that the hope is that it's just like an MCL sprain or a pull or maybe a meniscus, and they're optimistically believing that it's going to be okay. Because if it's an ACL, dude, we just got robbed. Like, and obviously he did too, more than anybody. But if that's an ACL injury, I mean that ruins Supercross for Cooper Webb, and that ruins it for all of us. Because I want to see him. I want to see if he can defend his title next year. With AC, some of that he's got a little bit of history with, jumping in as a rookie, Roxon being one more year stronger, Eli one more year stronger, Anderson back. I want to see if Webb can withstand all that pressure, because Anderson obviously wasn't able to this year. He came in with a bunch of goofy stuff. I want to see if Webb can, and if that's an ACL injury, then 5 months before the season, it's already kind of ruined for us. Yeah. And that sucks. But if not, if it's just a strain or a whatever, then I think he's fine. And it obviously takes a little bit of a break, takes a breather, and then gets back into it, and he's 100% fine by Anaheim, which is ultimately what we all want. So, bum for him for sure. Let's see, what else? 450 class, there's nothing else really to discuss. Everything else was pretty standard.
It was honestly kind of a boring race to watch, I thought.
It was a boring race to watch. I enjoyed just watching Kenny ride. It was one of those days where I actually enjoy watching him on the motorcycle and go, man, that's like art. It was really good. The 250 class, Cianciarulo to me gets the win because he didn't lose. Straight up. If you're at him right now, you're just trying not to lose this thing. You're not really in a play. And I give him credit for being as gutsy. That move that he made on Justin Cooper in the second moto on the first lap, that was like, you could tell this dude is not backing down, but at the same time, he is restraining himself just enough to keep this thing together. And for him to walk out of there with no problems, in my opinion, that's a win.
Man, watching him come down it was like that right-hand corner it was kind of like a downhill. That was that one corner that had a huge, long, gnarly rut. AC
Are you talking about where Stewart landed on RC back in the day? The drop off. Sorry, Evan. The drop off, and then they just sweep right with those deep ruts, and then they jump up.
Yeah, man. Watching AC come through there standing up I'm just blown away. I'm like,
me
God
too.
damn, man. That's
and going
insane.
for it too.
Yeah. That made me nervous. I'm like, one small little flinch in those ruts, dude, and you're yard sailing, you know?
Hey, I got to give Ferrandis some credit too, man. Like he started this thing a little off, kind of buried himself in the points, but the second half of this season, dude, he has been unreal. And if it wasn't for AC just coming out on fire, winning those overalls all early, we're in a real championship battle. But give AC credit. He rebounded from Vegas, came out, took care of business early, put himself in a position where he can win this thing. Because I think right now, if their championship was like this, where they were really, really tight, I'd be even more nervous for Adam than I am right now. I'm still nervous because he still is on that edge, but he's pulling this damn thing off, and I think he's going to get that outdoor title. I really do think he is, and Dylan can't be bummed about it. He kind of came in a little off, and that's he'll look back and probably go, man, I wish I came in a little hotter, but at the same time, he was feeling the effects of winning that Supercross title and just really didn't have that fire early. He's probably wishing he did now because the way he's riding, he's killing it. But with Adam leaving next year, Dylan obviously I think is your favorite indoor and out. He's got to be number one. Faulkner's a question mark because number one, he's coming back from an injury. Number two, he apparently is going to get married now, which Joe, I'm assuming we're going to get to that.
Oh, yeah.
How many was there? 100 questions about Faulkner getting engaged to his chick?
No, I think only one or two.
Okay. I literally glanced at it because I got tagged in a couple, and I'm like, all right, guys, like, the Faulkner questions are coming in hot. But anyways, Ferrandis is going to have his hands full next year with a better Sexton, a better Cooper, a recovered Faulkner. But at the same time, I'm going into next year with Ferrandis as he's number one. He's the top dog in the 250 class, indoor and out, and he deserves that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Faulkner's going to give these 250 guys the goods next year, honestly, if he could stay healthy. And I think
he'll be a married man.
Home life, his home life is good.
The home life thing's funny.
Hard to be tough with that one, right, Jim?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
boy. What else in the 250 class? I guess we could talk about the rookies. Chet Lawrence's second moto was good. I think it's pretty funny, though. I'm going to throw this out there. A lot of hype around Lawrence, Shimoda, Swole, and Mumford's kind of like the overlooked one who is like, hasn't really had the amateur results that he maybe should have. He's the one kind of on the outs. And then he's the only one that gets points the first moto. I just thought that was ironic.
Yeah.
And that just shows y'all, whatever you think, don't forget, this is Supercross and Motocross. Whatever you think is not likely. It's weird stuff happens all the time. The guy who everyone overlooked is the one who went out and took care of business. He was the fastest of all of them in qualifying and then had the best result the first moto. And after the first moto, I just found myself kind of chuckling a little bit how the other guys didn't do very good. And the guy who was low hype did.
Well, here's a classic example. I mean, this is why my fantasy game has totally shit the bed. You think but it's...
No.
You get your picks in and feel pretty confident, and then all of a sudden goes to hell.
Yeah, I'm very curious right now. I will say I'll say this right now. I'm so curious to see what these teams end up doing with Swole and Shimoda and Lawrence, because the word on the street right now is that these guys are going into Supercross. And what I saw was a bunch of kids who aren't ready for Supercross. That's what I saw. Because if you're outdoor guys, right? If you can't hop right out there, I mean, Justin Cooper, I know the conditions were muddy, but Justin Cooper, he gets second at his first outdoor national ever at Unadilla 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, he proved right out of the gate that he was, like, really legit. And even he shouldn't have done Supercross that first year. He went and got hurt the second round because it was just too fresh and new. So for Shimoda and Swole and Lawrence and Mumford and all these youngsters that are coming up, I am so anxious to see if these teams are going to throw them right at the wolves and just absolutely... I mean, let's go down the list, too. Drake will be a rookie. Pierce Brown will be a rookie. This Moreau guy will be... We're talking about 6 or 7 rookie kids thrown into Supercross, and I predict they're going to get chewed up and spit out because they're not ready for Supercross yet.
I think Mumford rides a fair bit of Supercross, though. I think he's got a Supercross track at his house, and I think he does ride some Supercross.
Yeah, but he's the one who's not getting the deal. He's also the one who's probably ending up another year in amateurs. The rest of them are supposed to go.
Yeah.
Like, Hunter Lawrence. There's another rookie. Okay, Lawrence.
He's never ridden Supercross.
Yeah, neither did Jet. So Hunter, Jet, Shimoda, Swole, Drake, Brown, Moreau. That's 7 of them right there. Rookies in Supercross. And that's, again, what pisses me off, too, so bad, is you see 7 of these kids that are not ready yet getting thrown right in, or even Masterpool. Is he going to race Supercross? That would be 8. Okay, 8 of these kids. And then you got literally, like, again, McAdoo, Hartraft, Oldenburg, Hayes, who are all, like, podium threat probably in Supercross, who are all waiting around to get their deal. Now, from what I understand, McAdoo signed with PC, Hartraft signed with TLD, so at least...
Really?
Yeah.
You mean the other way around?
No, McAdoo to PC, Hartraft to TLD.
Really?
As of, like, Thursday. So...
Wow. I thought it was going to be
But you still have Oldenburg and Hayes. Oldenburg got a podium this year. Hayes got a couple top 5s. They don't have a deal yet you have 8 children going into Supercross with like no experience whatsoever, just the perfect ingredients to go and throw them in and just destroy any bit of confidence that they have. These guys should be waiting a whole nother year and coming out at Hangtown like Tomac did, and like Barsha did, and like Faulkner did. All the ones that ended up being really good waited and started an outdoor. Don't start these kids in Supercross. You're going to destroy any bit of confidence that they have, and they're going to end up like the rest of these rookie kids who are just falling off the planet right now.
So, and Falk
well, even but their story is different because they did start on some out. Well, no, Falk didn't either.
No.
So, anyways, yeah, I'm anxious to see in January what these teams look like when they're strutting out half their roster on rookie kids that, in all honesty, do not belong out there yet. If you come off Loretta's and you can't even barely get in the top 20, you should not be going and racing Anaheim or Atlanta or wherever around one of the East is. That's, number one, it looks stupid for your brand. Number two, you're just destroying the kids' careers. Like, seriously, and again, that's why everything should be pushed back. Look how much better things are when you push it back a little bit. Quit rushing these kids, man. Stupid. Anyways, all right, Joe, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll rip through listener questions. Then I got to get to a birthday party. I'm going roller skating. It's going to be a blast.
Main event moto.
I hate to say it, but our NorCal Motoheads are pretty spoiled. Why? Well, where do they ride, Joe?
Riverfront, East Street, and Prairie City. And don't ask me who takes care of them trackside during the week, because it's EMT Racing.
And who takes care of them trackside during the week, Joe?
Really, man? I literally just said EMT Racing. You didn't hear me?
That's right. If you're from Northern California and support Main Event Moto, then spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks, buy your bikes and parts from Modesto, Honda, Cowie, KTM, and make sure EMT Racing takes care of your trackside and service needs.
Spin your laps at Rep Racing Tracks. I see what you did there. I like that.
If you're from Northern California and you're a true Motohead, then you better get your bike from Honda, Kawasaki, KTM of Modesto. They also got betas, ATVs, and side-by-sides. And if you don't know how to use Google Maps, well then here, I'll help you out. Visit them off of Carpenter Road in Modesto and see their track support parts trailer at all California Central Valley races. Visit www.hkmodesto.com to apply for the rider team, store deals, and upcoming events. And check them out on Instagram at Honda_Cowie_KTM.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Ooh, wee.
Time for our Scott USA Prospect Listener questions. Before we do, Joe, who should we harass this week? AC never responded. He never said anything.
Well,
never reached out.
Your original plan was you have to keep going after them until they respond. So if you want to keep going after AC, it's totally acceptable.
I don't think we should break this kid's concentration. Let's move on.
Wow, look at Dan. Look at Cowie Dan, dude.
I know.
Sticking up for his guy.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to be responsible or even 1% responsible for anything, Joe. Is that?
Have we already done Roxon?
No, we haven't.
I mean,
what do we say? Look, Kenny, I got a nice relationship that is also, I would say, on thin ice at all times, just because they're very. I put him in the same world as the Tomacs, where you got to be a little bit gentle about how you approach them. I don't want to ruin the very small relationship that's there, but at the same time, he did win. Yeah, I think we got to get
having some fun. If having some fun and sending a hashtag from your listeners is going to ruin a relationship, that relationship isn't worth having, bro.
All right. Well,
Dude,
there you
Joe
go.
Coming in hot.
Then what do you want? You pick the word. You pick the hashtag. That way, it's on you, and I could just point at you if they get sensitive about it.
How about time or
no? We did that
winner?
to Web.
Okay, we did that.
Remember
to Web.
about time.
Dilla Master.
That's pretty good.
Damn, Dan.
I like that.
All right.
Hashtag Dilla
$250 gift card to motosport.com. Hashtag Ken Roxon with Dilla Master. One word. D-I-L-L. Here we go. Let me try one more time. DILLAMASTER. All right. And then, Joe, I got 4 passes left. VIP passes for the outdoors, which means I can do 2 at Budds Creek, and I can do 2 for Indiana. So I can do 2 separate winners for the motosport.com VIP outdoor ticket. What should we do on that? Remember, we always do some kind of a quiz, trivia.
Yeah, usually the guest picks what the trivia question would be.
Yeah, Dan. The first 2 who get this answer right will get the pass to Budds Creek.
What year did Adam Cianciarulo win his first Loretta's title?
Whoa, that's a good one. The year and the class. First 2 to get it right gets the VIP ticket to Budds Creek.
And what do? They DM you?
DM me.
Yeah.
And then for those of you who come in around 10th place, because usually about 25 or 30 people come in, right? Usually the people around 10th are like pretty pissed they didn't get it. The people around 25th or 30th, they know. They're like, I know I'm late, but I just wanted to say it anyway. I love that. But those of you who don't get it and you're like an hour late, don't get mad at me. It's not my fault that you're late. The rules are rules, right?
That's right.
So don't get mad at me. It's not my fault that you are late. All right. Listener questions brought to you by Scott USA and their Prospect Goggle. Joe, take control. And let's speed through these. I got to get to a birthday party. Do you want to go to the birthday party, Joe?
Hell yeah.
You want to go roller skating?
I love roller skating.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I flip-flops on. I didn't bring socks on purpose. I'm not skating.
Too cool for skating?
Cool isn't the word. It's cautious. I'm not trying to get hurt. Having back trouble lately, so. All right, what we got?
Henson34513 says, at Jetson49 was sick in that second moto. I think he would be top 5 if he had an actual factory bike. Thoughts? Question mark.
No.
No.
Those amateur bikes are not that. You'd probably, Danny, you'd probably be able to tell exactly, but those things are not that far off of a factory bike.
And I refuse to believe right now that he was on his amateur bike. Maybe he doesn't have the full factory bike, but I guarantee you his bike was 95%, at least engine-wise. And they're not going to send their upcoming, potential superstars that every team believes their amateur rider is the next great thing. They're not going to throw them out there on slow-ass bikes and just have them. No. I guarantee you the bike was really, really, is probably as good as the practice bikes are that the factory guys get, which I can tell you from experience are insanely good. So the answer, Joe, is no. But the answer to is Jetson 49, is he a potential superstar? Oh, yeah. I'm all in on him as a rider. I think he's great. I think he's going to be awesome. In fact, I do think he's going to end up being better than his brother, unfortunately.
Shots fired.
No, they're both going to be good, but Jet's going to be a little better.
Clark Borden, he says, should FC Honda be worried about Shimoda going 35 and 36?
I would have to assume that there was some issue there with the bike or something, or maybe he got hurt. I think the kid's better than 35, 36.
No, 35, 36, not concerned. 22, 23, very concerned. That's the way I look at it. If he would have went out there and finished both motos and just couldn't get points, That's one thing, but I don't think he legitimately got 35th and 36th. I didn't even look. I don't even look at the lap chart. I have no idea. But I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't get too hyped, and I wouldn't get too worried off of these guys sprinkling into this series. Just don't put these guys in Supercross, man. They're gonna too. But go ahead, next one.
Hayden_Ferguson_327. We may have already covered this enough, so you can feel free to say skip if you want. He says, thoughts on the USA Nations team. In case you had any last thoughts to cherry on top.
Just steer away from Cowie, just the team itself. Anderson's a gamer. Osborne's racing the GPs. He's a gamer. He's the team captain, which is badass. He should be. Osborne is like, dude, he's so badass. And Justin Cooper, dude, he gets good starts. I wouldn't be surprised if he can go out there and pull some good starts. If they all three collectively go and really prepare for this thing and really like get their sand game going, legitimately, I think they could get a podium.
We've seen stranger things. We all thought that they were going to kill these guys at Redbud.
Yeah, we got 20th at Redbud, so anything can happen. But I would say a legit podium team, and I love the roster as far as the guys. I mean, Justin Cooper, freaking kid was like a couple years ago at Loretta's class, no ride yet. Went to school, did it the way that I love, and now he's in the Donations 2 years later. That's a badass story. Osborne, badass story. Anderson, dude, just don't roll the finish line jump.
Hey, you
know what I mean?
Put Cowie back in the hat. Who's your Donations team?
My team is probably Tomac, Osborne, Cianciarulo would be the best team if they were all in and everybody was into it, for sure.
Joe, what about you?
You can't deny Tomac and Cianciarulo. They're going to win these two titles. The question is the other spot. Anderson, Osborne, Webb. Webb, you just got your answer. He's hurt. He ain't going. Anderson or Osborne?
I would have to go with Osborne.
I would too.
I'd go Anderson.
Anderson's he's a big game guy though, man. Remember he beat Hurlins a couple years ago at the Donations?
Yeah.
Anderson's sick too. I love the team. The actual roster. I love the three guys for sure. And if those three all want to go and they're down, then hell yeah, I can stand behind it. But again, back to the business side, I get why some don't.
I was kind of surprised Christina Denny is going to be part of that team. I mean, I'm not surprised, but
I know her decently because she's team manager, cycle trader, so I've been around her enough with Jacob. And what I do know about her is she is very, very good about trying to keep everyone organized on the same page. I like her involvement. Yeah. I think that's a good move.
She's super nice.
Yeah, she's awesome. All right, next one.
Austin_Saunders. Wouldn't it be a good move to put Hill on Adam's spot in 250s next year?
He can't because he did too good in Supercross this year. It wouldn't allow him to drop back down. Hill has more eligibility in the 250 class. He can go back. Not this year because he was top 20 in Supercross, so he can't. If he takes next year off, I want you guys to hear this right now and realize that this is a high possibility. I could see Hill taking next year all the way off and probably just doing videos like with his brother and Axel Hodges and whatever. And then I could see him coming back on a 250 team and legitimately probably winning another championship indoors. Legit. That is not far-fetched.
But as a team manager playing the long game, would you go that route?
Dude.
I mean, if you're starving for maybe...
Mitch Payton kept Martin Davalos around this year for one reason alone, because there was a sliver of hope that dude could win him an indoor title because of how good he's been over the last 30 years he's been in the class. If these teams are looking at their roster and Justin Hill's out there, hell yeah. Maybe you don't pay him a buttload of money, but dude, if I'm a team right now and my job is to win don't forget, these teams, their jobs are on the line. They're there to win. And if you're going to win, hell yeah, I'm picking up Justin Hill for a 250 indoor title. You don't have to train that hard. He's like the perfect guy for that. So yeah, if I'm one of these teams right now, I'm paying him to skip a year. If I'm TLD with the roster I got going into next year, I'm freaking hiring Justin Hill for 2021 Supercross right now. Give him his contract. Because legitimately, you probably could get a title out of the guy. He's that good. But no, he has to skip a year. He can't go this year. He'd have to wait a year. All right, next one.
Dustin_McManus157. Did you hear anything about Jalik Swoll's speech after he won the Horizon Award?
I thought I maybe heard he said something kind of smart aleck, which I like. I don't know what it was, but I thought he kind of got a little saucy. Like, he said something like, I won this award, but didn't deserve it, but who cares, whatever. Like, I didn't hear exactly, but I did hear someone say he was a little sarcastic in his Horizon. Did he win the Horizon?
Yeah, the Horizon Award.
I don't know enough to comment, but I did hear he got a little saucy, which is cool. I like that.
I didn't hear anything at all.
Sean 819. What 450 team does Dylon end up on, and when?
Ooh, you ready for prediction time?
Mm-hmm.
Dylon ends up on Factory Yamaha 2021, and he takes Barsha's spot. And where Barsha goes, I don't know.
You want to hear my... Man, I don't even want to say this. I don't even want this to come out of my mouth.
Say it, Dan.
Either A, you better say it, or B, then don't.
I think Plessinger is going to be a 450 washout.
I hate the fact that I'm nervous because I agree. I don't agree, but I'm nervous that that's possible.
Yeah.
Not only because I love Aaron, but number two, I predicted him being really good on a 450, and it makes me look stupid, which you all know I don't care about that, so it's not that big of a deal. But I did predict he would be good on a 450. He's had a really weird rookie year, but it is not looking good. Like, dude, not looking good at all.
There's not even a flash of anything there.
I know.
There's nothing, and that's what makes me concerned. And I don't know. I mean, I'm maybe he would be better suited on another motorcycle. That seems to be kind of the thing over there, is that 450 Yamaha. Those guys just, I know he has said before that wasn't super comfortable, and I don't know, man. I would expect to see something, a top five or.
Well, and we had the one. We had the one at the Supercross before he got hurt, and then that was it. And since then, it's like I forget he's even out there.
Me too. I mean, he's down in the 20s.
But he's young enough. He's got a long enough deal where he's whatever. Barsha's deal's up next year, and Barsha's been a little underwhelming too. And if you're Yamaha, I mean, God, you just keep taking the bait on your 250 guy. And I'm wondering when these 450 teams are going to realize that anything that comes out of Star, take it with a grain of salt. All right, their bikes are so damn good that when you're successful there, don't overhype the guy. You never know if he's a product of the bike he's on or if it's really him. Even Webb was unreal on Star and then struggled in the 450 class right out of the gate. Plessinger's the same. Maybe Ferrandis is the same. And I'll tell you right now, I like Dylan, but I'm not as confident that Dylan's going to be a great 450 rider. I'm not that confident in it.
Yeah, that one's hard to say.
Like right now, if I was to take a look at AC versus Ferrandis and Faulkner, let's throw those three, and Sexton. We'll put those four all in the same boat. 7 years from now, which one has the best 450 career, which one has the worst? I would predict, and I'm lucky for all you French fans out there, I'm wrong a lot, but I would say Dylan probably has the least successful 450 career out of those four.
I would agree.
And I think this sport eventually is Webb, Cianciarulo, Faulkner, and Sexton are your four heavy hitter superstars of the sport. Those are the four in 3 years that run the sport.
I think Sexton is going to be really good on a 450.
So do I. I think he might have the last laugh on all this on the 450. All right, Joe.
NV Sage Runner says, did at Daniel Blair 125 get an invite to Austin Faulkner's upcoming nuptials?
Yep, I'm going to be the ring bearer. Can't wait. I'm going to be stoked.
That'd be awesome. Jimmy Neutron 987, how hard is it to go 3 seconds a lap faster than everyone else? Like, is Kenny making up time every section on the track? Hell of a ride.
I would say into the ruts, through the ruts, out of the ruts. Take a little percentage everywhere.
I read this morning that he was faster in every single segment of the track than anybody else.
They split the track, Joe, in 3 segments, and Roxon was the fastest in all 3. Which, obviously, if you're going to be 3 seconds a lap faster, then obviously you're going to have to probably be the best in every segment.
R. Binky 69, thoughts on riders and chiropractors?
I mean, I like my chiropractor.
I like mine. I go every Monday morning at 8 a.m. I don't. That's a broad question. I don't know.
I would guess it would be good to help stay loose and whatnot.
I've heard people say that that's like a placebo type deal, whatever. I can tell you right now, I don't get caught up in that. I physically can walk into the chiropractor feeling pretty bad, and I walk out feeling way better, and it usually lasts me about a week. Now, I probably have some physical issues that maybe would need to get cleaned up if I wanted to feel good all the time, But with my injury history, like, I'm going to need help all the way through this thing, all the way out. Just the injuries that I've had. I mean, my heels, my knees, my femurs, my back, like, I got a rough road, and I can tell you right now, the chiropractor keeps me together. So that's all I can say on the topic. It's been good for me. Next one.
Jay Beerbauer, 105. One national track gets whacked from the series next year. Which one should go?
Paula. Or Fox Raceway or whatever.
I would agree.
Yeah, easy answer. I thought the Florida track was sick enough to establish itself as a permanent. So, Fox Raceway.
TR Dirty. With all of the alleged cheating in the P-Dub class at Loretta's, do you think that in the future Yamaha would step up and provide the bikes for the kids like the KTM program and Supercross to regulate that?
No, you want to know why too? I actually heard that this weekend. The KX65, which is way like behind the other 65s, Cowie has no interest in upgrading that bike. They sell the bike out every year. Like, people buy them. They're a great intro bike. The PW 50 is the perfect intro bike to the sport. In fact, don't ruin that bike. It is the perfect bike for people to get started on. And I think there's a big problem in the sport. Everything has gotten so advanced and priced itself out that we literally don't have intro bikes anymore. The PW 50 and the KX65 are the best bikes you could ever have if you want to get into this sport and you want a nice soft intro without having to break the bank. So if you're Cowie and Yamaha, don't screw that up. Don't take the bait. Let KTM and Cobra own the 50-65 markets for the competitive stuff, and you guys stick to the intro stuff. I think it actually goes a lot further, in my opinion. So I would say no, and I hope not.
KCG173, who has the more successful career, Jet Lawrence or Ty Masterpool?
Jet Lawrence. From what I understand, the Masterpools are like slightly against Supercross. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've heard rumblings that they're like not as into Supercross, it's not as high of a priority. I think they're both sick riders, but I think Lawrence's interest in Supercross and the fact that he wants it, and just even, I'd say the background, Australians for whatever reason seem to have a grasp on that type of riding. I mean, Chad Reed obviously kind of helps with that, but I think Jet Lawrence, honestly, in a couple of years from now, we're looking at, I'm someone that's pretty badass at Supercross. And Masterpool, I just don't know. But I'm pretty confident Lawrence is going to be good once it's all said and done.
Marco Pirello, sup, Bat Bros? Justified or not, some riders always have an excuse when they underperform, while others play it low-key. As a media guy, which do you prefer to hear? Mysterious illness or just got to be better?
Neither. I would like someone to be honest. I would like someone to come out and say, yeah, the track was tough today. I struggled on this. I miscalculated, how this track would be, and maybe the bike settings weren't exactly what I liked, but that's on me. I got to get better, and me and the team will go back to work, and we'll figure out how to make my bike better, and ultimately make me better so that I can shine in these tough, situations. I'd love to hear that.
Did you hear Cianciarulo's interview after the first moto, I think? How he went in depth about getting arm pump and was super sketchy, and he'd rather be tired than get arm pump because you can't control that insight.
That is what I want to hear.
Yeah, absolutely.
So making excuses and blaming everything other than yourself, I can't stand that. And then just, brushing under the rug and acting like nothing, I can't stand that either. AC, there's the playbook right there. Like, be honest and tell the truth and accept responsibility for your faults. That's how you get better. That's why I have I would say I have high hopes and high beliefs that this guy is going to be very good on the 450 class, not only on the track, but off the track as well. I think he's something special. Next one. Eddie_Neva_official, with the recent failed drug tests, what percentage of pro riders are taking a doctor-approved Adderall or asthma medication? I don't know, and I can't even comment. I have no idea. I don't know.
Eddie comes back with another one. You guys talked a lot about knobby size on tires last week. What is the difference between the tires that a factory team would run and that I can buy at the local dealer?
I'm not exactly sure, other than I know that in years past, back when I was racing, the spec tires you couldn't buy. I'm pretty sure they're running these 3S's or 33s now, but they're running like a variation of them. I think the rubber's a little softer.
Yeah, the rubber's softer, and they've got On some of these tires, the center knobs are a softer compound, or the side knobs are softer, but the centers are harder, and this is a different compound tire.
Is this a fair example? Your Cowie 450 to Tomac's, they're both Cowie 450s, but he has got stuff that you can't get, but it is the same bike originally. That's like the tire. These guys are running a variation of what you can get as the public, but it's not the same.
Usually what happens is like the tires that we're running today, like the MX-33s, were like a spec tire from a year or two prior.
Exactly. And whatever they're running right now, you'll probably see in the next couple of years. But then again, that's not true too, because they run softer compounds that don't last. People are not going to be spending $100 and something a tire that's going to last them one moto. So
it's more or less the tread pattern of the knobby and whatnot.
So
compounds.
Good question.
Different.
JSN 411. What was more impressive, Ken Roczen going full beast mode, or 16-year-old at Jetson 49 finishing Moto 2 inside the top 10?
I'd say Kenny.
I mean, what Lawrence did was awesome, but don't forget, like James Stewart was winning Supercrosses when he was 16, and I mean, we've seen stuff like that before. Young kids popping in, being great right out of the get-go. I mean, yeah, it was impressive, but I mean,
not a shocker.
Not a shocker. And what Kenny did was purely visually unreal, in my opinion. He was just next level. So I'll go Kenny.
Eddie Nava comes back with another one. He says, have you gotten into a fight or trouble because of Vincent's mouth?
Like on the show? No. Nobody takes Vincent serious, so.
I think he just means in general.
Oh, like in life? Vincent's cockier on the microphone in this room with us than he is in, like, he's not out spewing like that in the real world. In fact, as I would guarantee, as cocky as he is about his work and how much he hates it, I guarantee you he's a corporate kiss ass when he's actually there. That's my guess. What do you think, Joe?
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, so no,
his golf game costed him a garage door window, yeah?
Well, his kid.
Was it his kid?
His kid, my brother's son, Gio, hit a golf ball through the window, which is just so magical. I'm so happy that happened. Okay, next one.
Black Sheep 356. When will Nick be back in studio? And if K-Rex was not ill, is he on Tomac's level or better?
As far as Nick goes, I don't know. We'll have to reach out to old Nicky, see what he's doing. If Nick came on, it would be definitely not after a race where he would have to review, because I don't think he's watching. And I think Nick is more caught up in the Supercross world than the outdoor too. So maybe once we get closer to Supercross. As far as Roczen goes, I don't know. Who knows? They won't bring their A game on the same day. I have no idea.
Yeah.
No clue. These two, they dodge each other. It's like they get together in the outhouse right before the moto. Hey, how you feeling today? I'm feeling on it. Okay, I'll just be average today, okay? Okay, we don't want the fans to see what we both look like on our A game. All right, your turn? My turn? Okay, sounds good. That's literally what it seems. It's not, but it's what it seems like. Next one.
Monty 248. What do we do if AC and Tomac both throw away these titles? Do we pack our American pride and shit thrown, find two commies to root for? Wait, sorry, he wrote this little word. Do we pack our American pride and shit, then find two commies to root for? What's your thoughts, Matt Bros?
Well, the first thing we do is we send Dan to the psych ward because he'll lose it.
Oh.
No, that's a funny question, but
yeah,
they got it. They got it on lock.
Yeah. Jesse Mobley 576. Has Snap-on Dan sold any of his Kawasaki's yet? American pride for the Motocross to Nations.
Jeez, man. See, no. Although I do have one for sale. If somebody wants a Super Trick factory.
No one wants
Cowie.
to buy those things. Anti-American company.
How much, Dan?
I don't know. Slide into my DMs. We'll dial you in.
All right.
That company don't care about America.
You want to give your handle out there so people know where to find you?
Dan Colvin 633.
At Dan Colvin 633. There you go.
Everybody hashtag Dan Colvin 633.
It's messed up.
Just put hashtag anti-American.
Oh, man.
Give it to him. Cooksey was not impressed with what you guys did to him.
That was great.
I was impressed.
That was awesome.
Get Dan. Hashtag anti-American.
Kurt Evans 4T. Did you hear Plessinger drop the F-bomb when he pulled into the pits?
No, but if he listened to this show, he'd be dropping the F-bomb at Dan, that's for sure. Hashtag Dan. AP hates your... No, I'm just joking. We're good. Go next one.
Let me see here. I'm rolling through. T. Cranston 84. Sounds like the 1-year dealer Honda is still open. What about finally giving Martin Davalos his shot?
finally giving him his shot. That's awesome. Remember how I said a couple weeks ago that there was a possibility that like maybe Brayton would ride factory Supercross only? And well, I got hammered pretty hard for that, and they're like, dude, Daniel says the craziest things, blah, blah, blah.
It's true.
Evan, go sit in the car.
No, I've met you.
Anyways, people say that I say crazy things, and then a lot of those things end up kind of being true. Yeah, Davos ain't going to end up there. Neither is Savacci. So my guess is Brayton ends up there. And again, and if it doesn't happen, I'll admit I was wrong. If it does happen, then call me crazy.
Hey, so let me ask you this real quick. So say that does happen, right? And Savacci pretty much at that point has JGR to go to, or MCR on a.
I don't think he'll go to MCR. It'll go.
You don't think he will, but do you think that would be a good spot for him?
Be great, I think.
I think it'd be a better spot for him on MCR on the Honda than Suzuki.
Poof, maybe. I don't. There's a lot of complications going on right now between Honda and their issues that they're trying to work out. These aren't even bike or rider things. There's some things going on at Honda that they got to get right first before they even drop that second spot. And JGR is literally just waiting on their money deal. That's it. It looks like it's going to happen, but until its pen hits the paper and the check clears, they can't make the moves they want to make. So everyone just needs to be patient. That's how the sport works. Everything takes longer than you want. Just ride it out another month, y'all. All right, next one.
Elm 68. Due to the fact that you are Jacob Hayes' manager, will you be accompanying him to Australia?
Nope.
Make sure he's got the correct gloves above.
Nope.
Okay, no.
That's all right. I'm sending Jacob a box of Snap-on socks.
Why?
Huh? Because they're the best socks in the world. I'm going to take care of
Does he need them for some reason?
Dude, to go to Australia, he's got to have new socks, man. I don't know.
All right, next one.
In Griff 88, what's more annoying? People that say Kenny is back or the inconsistency of his clickers?
Here's what I listened to an interview this morning from him, and he basically said that he has left his bike alone. He has not touched it. Just
base settings, baby.
Base settings. He has not been riding gnarly every day.
Must be listening to the show, Joe.
He's been chilling.
Guaranteed.
Just been taking it easy, and he feels the best that he has all season.
So he wins both titles next year? That's what I said. And then he immediately sucked the next 2 weekends, but I don't want to jump back on the train and jump back off the train. I throw things out emotionally when I feel like saying things, and right now I'm more on the AC train. I think AC, I'm all on AC right now. I think he's going to be great next year. Roxon, who knows? It's a little hot and cold, so you never know. Next one.
Willie722, you think we'll see AC and DF battle throughout their careers in 450s?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I know you said you don't think that.
I think right now you're seeing them in the closest battling that you're going to see from them. I don't, and I'm not saying every race to the end of time, but no, what's going on between them right now is I think right now, and that's about it.
Stillman 441, did Joe Shimoda's bowling ball of a helmet make him look more Asian, or am I just an asshole?
Just an asshole. All right, next one.
Keep it ribbit. Northeast have to be the best dirt. He's just bragging. He's a couple bad emojis. Jason Manus 392. Why is Zach Osborne team captain of Team USA?
Because Osborne's a boss. That's why.
Shouldn't it be Anderson? ?
Well, Osborne has expressed the most interest and support behind the team
publicly. Sure.
So,
he's more of your vocal. Like, let's
taking
go.
Charge.
Let's go. Yeah.
Sure.
So I think sometimes. I mean, he might not even be the best guy. He might not get the best results. But sometimes, even on a team, Joe, you'll back me up on football, basketball, whatever. Sometimes your team captain isn't even your star guy. It's the guy who can be your lead voice. Anderson doesn't talk to people. Justin Cooper he's just a puppy. Osborne he's your guy. He's your face. He's the one who's outspoken, wants this thing. He's been to Europe. He is the guy who would vocally represent these three riders, so that's why.
He has time to be the leader.
He is the leader. He's the guy. Yep.
Last one, Mountain Man 48. What do you think of @Austin Faulkner getting married?
I think he's a lucky son of a bitch.
This should have happened a long time ago. I mean, I will not hold back.
She's the hottest one
by far.
Right?
I've said this before, but I'll say this again. My wife, who drinks Haterade for breakfast, thinks that Faulkner's chick is like the hottest chick she's ever seen. I mean, she literally is like, she thinks she's perfect. And if you're Austin, dude, get her before some other athlete or celebrity gets her. Like, get her now. Like, he should have proposed 6 months ago, dude. Like, the minute she went on the first date, he should have been like, put a ring on it, bro. You never know. Maybe she's crazy. I have no idea. But whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're 40 years old or 19. Whatever. If you're in love, you're in love. Let him have his love. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah. Let him have it.
Hey, real quick on that topic. Have you seen Kenny Watson posting that one chick on Instagram?
Mm-mm.
Go look at it real quick. Tell me what you think. Just look at.
Are you talking about the one where he did the funny post about Honda?
Yes, but he's made multiple posts with the same girl in different outfits. What is the deal with that?
I don't know. What is it? What is
Vegas K-Dub?
Vegas K-Dub. You talking about this girl with the Honda stuff on?
Yeah, who is that?
I don't know, but Ken Roxon put yummy, LOL. Pretty awesome. All right, well, good show, guys. Had a good time. Dan, thanks for coming on. Producer Joe, thanks as always for being you and doing what you do.
Yeah.
And had a good time. Huge shout out to Nature's Bakery, Fly Racing, Skivvy Underwears, Mika Metals, Scott USA, No Toil, Honda Cowie, KTM of Modesto, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Key Bar, and Rep Racing. Dan, what's your plan the rest of the day? You want to go roller skating?
No, I'm going to go to lunch with my family.
Joe, on the reel, you want to go roller skating?
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Take me.
All right, let's go. Good show, guys. Thanks, and we'll talk to you after Budds Creek.
Main event, Moto. Screw it. You know it by now.